The only thing that is more sensational than his game is his name. Khvicha Kvaratskhelia. Fourth loss in the Super Cup for Unai Emery. Your take on the game?
I think the game went exactly as I thought it would. I knew PSG were going to come out on top, even though Aston Villa were going to give them a huge competition, right? Because Aston Villa under Unai Emery, they are not a team to sit back and soak the pressure. They have the confidence and the mentality and the quality it takes to actually go out and also play their game, right? So the game played out exactly how I thought it would, right? Each team, end-to-end action from each team, great and quality chances. But I always knew that PSG were going to come out on top because at the end of the day, it comes down to who has better quality. And PSG always had the better players. We saw the Kvaratskhelia goal. That was a screamer. And Doué's goal was also a clean finish. But yeah, I knew that both teams were going to cancel each other out a lot. But it was going to come down to the quality they had in their squad. And PSG obviously has much more quality. What do you think?
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
I think the outcome played out as I expected. I'm not sure the details of the game went necessarily as I expected. I mean, first off, I think Safonov made at least 3 big saves.
Yeah.
You know, like that.
Aston Villa had the better chances.
They did, right?
Yeah.
They did. They had the better chances. But obviously, it wasn't a surprise by any means. But if you look at how the game went in the first half, PSG, obviously, as you would think, were playing high pressure. In fact, Unai Emery was sort of absorbing the pressure for the first, if I recall correctly, like the first half hour of the game.
Yeah. Until the goal came, I think.
Yeah. I got the numbers off the top of my head. So it was 4 chances for PSG, 2 on target.
Yeah.
It was 1 chance off target for Aston Villa, right? But this is the first game of the season. Players are fresh off partying in Ibiza, right? And that shows because when you play high pressure, right, under those circumstances, in this physical condition, you play high pressure, you cannot keep it up for 45 minutes.
Yeah.
So like 35 minutes into the first half, that's when Aston Villa starts creating more chances, right?
Yeah.
Madjo, he missed, I think, like 4 big chances.
Yeah.
Before he scored the goal, right?
Yeah.
Plenty to talk about there because he's actually, arguably, the PSG's goal was his mistake.
Yeah.
Right? He failed to clear the ball properly. He also missed 4 big chances. But again, he's 17 with only 7 games under his belt as a professional football player, and he scored the equaliser.
Yeah.
He is impressive, and I think it's actually more impressive by Unai Emery that he, in fact. He also played George Hemmings on the left. And those 2 combined have a total of 11 games as professional footballers.
Yeah.
Right? And they sort of showed up, they sort of showed the right attitude in this game, right?
Yeah.
So you got to give Unai Emery credit for that, given all the absences.
Yeah, and even though it's interesting you mentioned the intensity at which the game was played. Because even though some of the players couldn't play the full 90, I was impressed to see that the game was played at a really high tempo. Because coming into the game, one thing that Luis Enrique was really stressing on in the pre-match interview was the fact that his team hadn't had enough preparation coming into this game because they had only played 2 preseason games. Most of his players were now returning because he had 5 players in that squad. Who played for France, and France made it to the semi-finals. They played really deep into the tournament. So these guys were now coming back. And most of these players hadn't even played a single preseason game. They had trained, I think, just 1 training session. So he was really, I wouldn't say bitter, but he was really concerned about the fitness and how sharp his players were going to be coming into this game. So I wasn't surprised to see what was this young guy's name? I struggled to find his name, get his name correctly.
Akliush.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I wasn't surprised to see him there. I also I also wasn't surprised to see
Zaire Emery.
Zaire Emery like play the full 90.
Yeah, because he played in Fabian Ruiz's.
Exactly. Yeah. So that was good. And
I mean, you would understand that, but because he wanted to rest Osman Dembele and
exactly, because these guys just came for preseason. But all in all, it was a really high intensity. I was shocked to see them play at such a high intensity.
Yeah.
Aston Villa, on the other hand, have played 5 preseason games, I think, and so they have ample preparation under their belt.
Okay.
So I wasn't surprised to see that intensity from them because they've been training for a while. But from PSG, it was a really good performance they put up. Anything less, and they would have lost to Aston Villa, because Aston Villa really came out to play.
They needed Safonov, and they also needed the missed chances from Madjo as well.
And thinking about the fact that Aston Villa had the better chances and the most chances in this game, it speaks of Aston Villa's quality, the quality they have, and the fact that they've lost Tielemans in midfield. They lost Morgan Rogers, Oli Watkins is unavailable. Same for
they lost Lucas Dean to PSG.
Exactly. So you think that this team has been torn apart, and as a result, they are going to suffer and they are going to look different from what we saw last season. But it seemed that Unai Emery has picked up the pieces and he has put them together really well. So
no, to me, Unai Emery, in my books, he's the single most underrated coach in European football. I think. I'm not surprised he handled the game pretty well. It seemed at first that PSG are going to like run away with it, with the big score. But then, they got a bit tired towards the end of the first half. Aston Villa equalized, and then Madjo developed some confidence, right? Because in the 50th minute, he made a great counter attack, right? Passed the ball to John McGinn, who sort of lost his footing as he was trying to cut in, right? So he didn't get the shot exactly as he wanted, and again, Safonov saved it, right? But it's like Unai Emery knows how to work with what he has. Like, he knows how to use his resources efficiently. He may win, he may lose, but you can never look back and be like, this guy could have done better, But that's in my opinion. Like that's I think they did their best, but PSG.
But I just wish he had started Tammy Abraham instead of Madjo. Like, cause
it was bold of him to start Madjo.
Because looking at the quality of chances the guy missed, right?
It's lack of experience.
You can
feel that he was a bit under pressure. Like that header he missed inside the 6 yard.
That was a sitter, man.
Yeah. Like if that was a game at the academy, he wouldn't have missed it. Like, he knows what he should have done. Just that.
And the goal he scored was like the most difficult chance of it.
It was because it required a lot of focus, a lot of concentration at that point, and then his attention was on the ball. That's when he scored.
And his ability to keep the defender at bay and just
I also like how he uses his body, man.
He uses his body really well, like to hold up play and wait for support, and then he like in this game, right? If there's one player to really praise and to single out as
John Madjo. Definitely.
Sure, he had a really great game.
So you think you know your football? Well, here's your chance to prove it. Here at More 90, we're starting our own fantasy league on the Premier League app. You can find the link in the video descriptions and our social media account bios. So make your team, invite your friends, join us, and let's compete. Tammy
Abraham came on. He also had a really great game. I think at the end, as I said in the beginning, in this kind of games, it always comes down to quality and experience, right? Because when PSG went 2-1 up, right, they had what it took to actually guard that lead and maintain that lead. And even in the latter stage, as the game was coming to a close, you could see that Aston Villa were trying their possible best. They were creating really good chances, but then again, it was always like a pass too strong, like staying on the ball too long. These little details was what was like killing their game. But another person,
as the game progressed, their build-up started getting more. But
another person I think had a really good game was Wendia. Coming into the game, he was a player to watch, and he played a really good game in that number 10 role. In my opinion, because I think most of the attack went through him. If the attack didn't go through the flanks and it went through the middle. Even during the times where the attack was going through the flanks, he was there to support, hold on to play, and he matched that PSG midfield really well.
Yeah. Also, if you play 4-4-2, you're going to need your strikers, both of them, to move a lot and on and off the ball, and he does that well.
Yeah, and the intensity from Aston Villa was impressive, bro. Guys were running for 90 minutes non-stop.
It was
somebody like a player like Ian Matson. Running down that flank like it was just a normal day. You get what I'm saying? They're just going up and down.
The second goal, though.
The second goal wasn't his fault. He wasn't the one who broke the
sorry. It was Matty Cash. Right. It was Matty Cash.
On the fine. You get what I'm saying? Because take Matty Cash out of that equation. It was a perfect highlight. And
it was.
Doue was miles offside.
In fact, they were so confident of it that
exactly.
They didn't move.
He didn't move.
Like after Désiré Doué got the ball, they didn't chase him.
Because they knew they were doing
that's
right.
That's how confident they were.
Exactly.
Well, these things happen, but like one last thing, man, I need to touch on.
Hit me, bro.
The only thing that is more sensational than his game is his name. Khvicha Kvaratskhelia.
Bro, man.
Is he the baller?
That is a line right there, bro. The only thing more impressive than his name is his game, bro.
Is he the best football player in the world right now?
Okay, I'll say this. Right?
I'm not going to say Lionel Messi because, Messi is an alien. I'm talking about, Earthlings.
I'll say this, right? I saw him at Napoli in the early stages. Even though he was doing it really well. But I'm going to admit it now. I thought he was a one-season wonder, right? And then in the following season, in the middle of the season, he made a move to PSG, which, in my opinion, now looking back at that, I think it's a naive stance to have because I thought it was a redundant signing.
I actually wouldn't say it's naive. I'll tell you why.
No, I thought it was a redundant signing. I thought they didn't need him, and PSG was doing what they've always been doing, signing quality players just for the sake
and they signed him when Barcola was having a good season.
Exactly. Yeah. And then he came in, and then we saw him do it last season. No, last 2 seasons.
Yes.
And then he did it again last season. Yeah. And he keeps getting better. He's impossible to mark, first of all.
Yeah. Yes.
His decision making is unmatched.
Yeah.
Like, the guy makes the right decision about 90% of the time. It's hard to find players like this.
It's very hard.
And the way he finishes the ball, bro.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, this guy does a lot.
First of all, of all the forwards that you have in Europe, he's one of the best when it comes to counter pressure.
Yeah.
The guy can defend for someone.
Yeah. I saw it in this game when Nuno Mendes was asked to leave the pitch because he lost his boot. His boot came off. Right?
Yeah.
Immediately, you could see him tracking back to cover for Nuno Mendes.
And speaking of
Nuno Mendes, impressive. I thought that
speaking of Nuno Mendes, around the 50-something minute, right? They had the counter attack. So the guy, he ran back, right, so deep into the PSG territory to get the ball, right? And then as soon as he did, he released Nuno Mendes in space. The same pass Fabian Ruiz played to him in the final, the Champions League final against Arsenal, right?
Yeah, I saw that chance. Yeah, it was unfortunate. There was no one there to
you cannot mark a player like that, right? Because as a defender, you cannot leave your go that far out of position, right? The guy was just impressive, and the finish. Now, some people, Desmond and I were actually having a conversation about this off camera. Like some people may blame the goalkeeper because the ball basically came where the goalkeeper was standing, right? But I think it's just the way he finishes was unexpected. Because the way he, it
was the body language, right? It was the body language.
Exactly.
That's what tricked the goalkeeper.
If you look at the cut in and then the shot, it was on the same swing.
Yeah. He didn't take an extra touch. No, it was just
cut in. His leg, his right leg, right? His right foot. I'm sorry, didn't touch the ground. He immediately took the shot. Yeah. So that took everyone by surprise.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Because in situations like this, most keepers are trained.
This is one thing Kylian Mbappe does a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They are trained to anticipate the shot so that they can get their steps in quickly and then save, right? Yes. But that anticipation is based off the players' body language, right?
Yeah.
So if he shows you like he opens up his body like he's putting it in the
You
far
think
corner.
you think you know when the player is going to shoot. You're just trying to figure out where he's going to shoot.
Exactly.
It turned out
And
he
then he
didn't
takes
even
the
know.
shot. Yes,
he
a millisecond
took the shot
earlier.
faster. Yes. Yes.
And then now you are caught. He was there, but he was just like a millimeter off the ball. You can't do anything.
No, I would say back to your point about him thinking he was a one season wonder. I think he was your excuse, because if you think about it, his story was a bit abnormal, right? The guy comes from the Georgian league into a top 5 league, right? Into Serie A. At the age of 21.
Yeah.
First month in Italy, he wins Player of the Month. I think more than 90% of football fans would tell you, this guy's a one season hit. He's a one season wonder. You know, this guy's like coming from nowhere, right? Nobody knew him. People are struggling to even pronounce his name, right?
Bro, I couldn't pronounce his name until...
Yeah, he's just trying to... That's what, he's motivated by wanting to prove himself, but like, eventually that's going to wear off.
Yes.
Right? It didn't. This guy keeps getting better and better and better. End of the season, I think Victor Osimhen won Player of the Season. Victor Osimhen was great. I think they were one or two. I think there's a good case to make for each one of them. To me, I'd put Victor Osimhen at number 2. I think Kvara was better. And the guy just kept, even last 2 seasons, in fact, he gets better as the season progresses.
Yeah.
As the games get more important and as the pressure is high.
Yeah, he will show up.
Yes.
And he's a really consistent player.
Yeah.
He hardly gets injured. When you need him and you call on him, he's going to die. He never complains, bro. Whether he plays or he doesn't play. He's just that kind of player. There's really, you can't really hate him. It doesn't matter the team you support.
Very like cool.
Yeah, he's just a good player, like, generally speaking. Like, if you love football, you love watching.
Yeah, a little funny as well.
Yeah.
Have you seen his video? And he was like trying to explain to fans in Italy like how to pronounce his name. So he was like, "So guys, this is how you're going to pronounce my name, right?" And then he shows the picture, and then he wrote it in the Georgian alphabet.
Oh my God.
And then he goes like, "Of course, I joke."
Yeah. Bro.
Oh man, no, the guy is great. Is great to me. In my books, he's could be the Ballon d'Or, man. Who knows? Could be.
Yeah, but you always say this. If he was like, say, a French national or an English national, right? Winning the Ballon d'Or would have been easier.
Oh yeah.
But I think it will be more impressive for him to win it now because he plays for Georgia. You get what I'm saying? But if he wins the Ballon d'Or, it will be
I think his problem is that it's a World Cup year.
Yeah.
Not that it, because
the other players who performed better.
Yeah, if you actually look back, so it was pretty impressive when George Weah won it in '95, right?
Yeah.
But '95 was not a World Cup year.
Yeah.
It was not a Euro year.
So it was purely based on club football.
Yes. Right. Yeah. And I think it was also back at a time when winning the domestic league, it's one of the big 3, right? Especially Serie A, was almost as big as winning the Champions League today. Like, it would be taken into account. Like nowadays, like if you try to make a case for Lamine Yamal or Rafinha, for example, it would be difficult to be like, yeah, he won La Liga. You know, I disagree with that. I think it's weird. I think winning La Liga is quite an achievement. It's pretty difficult. I think it should have more weight, as it used to be back in the 90s. But yeah, back to that point, it could hurt him because remember, Messi gave us one of, if not the greatest individual performance in World Cup history. Kylian Mbappe had a record-breaking World Cup. Also won top scorer. Overall, his numbers are impressive. I think a total of 60 goal contributions with club and country, right? So yeah, that's where it becomes a bit more difficult for Kvara. But for me, he's the best player.
Yeah,
he's the best player. I think if Georgia went into the World Cup, I think he would have done what's his name, what Erling Haaland did for Norway.
If you are Luis Enrique, what is your biggest takeaway from this game? Going into the season.
I would say the most difficult job for a coach who won a back-to-back Champions League is how to keep your players motivated.
Yeah,
that's going to be the first challenge, right? He's going to face. the thing about PSG, sometimes I wonder if it seems like they concede more goals than they should. I think it's a persistent problem. I also wonder if they need a proper 9, like a proper number 9. They are trying to sign Ferran Torres now. They may or may not have signed him by the time we record this, but because when I think about it, so he usually plays 4-3-3, right? There's no way Kvara and Dembele are going to be out of the starting 11, which basically is a threat then to Désiré Doué, right? If you bring a proper 9, is he going to take Désiré Doué, put him on the bench, and then play the new number 9? So these are things that he will have to manage. Barcola, for example, great player, right? But spent too much time on the bench. Now he seems like he wants to leave, right? So you're gonna have to start managing. I get the whole idea of the project, having like young players, mostly like from Greater Paris region, whatnot, right? But then if you actually achieve something with them, then they are no longer just prospects. They are now superstars, and you can't keep all of them forever.
Yeah.
So that's another thing he will have to manage.
But also, I don't think that Ferran Torres, Doue, and trying to figure out like a starting lineup is going to be a problem, because if you look at the current schedule from UEFA, right, there is a game almost every 3 days. So it's like, even you can be Doue, and if I were Doue in that dressing room, or Ferran Torres coming in as a new signing, I wouldn't be worried about playing minutes. You know what I'm saying? As long as I'm assured by the coach that I'm going to be used or I'm being signed for a specific role, because there are so many games.
Yeah.
There are so many games in the Ligue 1. There's Coupe de France. There's the Champions League. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, but
so
if you're a star, if you perceive yourself, if you're a star,
regardless, if you're a star, you don't want to be playing every single game.
You don't want to be playing every single game, right? But you may not see the difference between starting against Nantes or Brest, or being on the bench.
I think,
but then when you get to the Champions League final, right?
That is
you're going to care about
that is a compromise you have to make.
No, it is. I'm just saying it's a situation for the coach to manage.
Because anytime you are brought on, you just have to focus on giving your best performance. Because these coaches are known to give starting slots based on merits. You know what I'm saying? And if you merit the tactical strategy for the day, and if you have the quality to execute it.
Yeah, but I'm just saying it's a situation so he will have to manage his rotation, obviously, and the defense.
But for Unai Emery, I think the biggest lesson in this game is that Aston Villa is not left for ruins as we initially thought. You know what I'm saying?
I never initially thought that.
Well, I did because he lost Morgan Rogers.
Okay.
Dibu Martinez's future is hanging in the balance. He lost Yuri Tillemans. Right, these are very key integral players, and he lost them. Right, coming into this game, coming into this season, and also given the fact he's qualified for the Champions League, that means more games, tougher games. You get what I'm saying? So you need every single player in that dressing room, and the fact that he had lost all these players was kind of shaky. We were all. Especially for me, I was trying to figure out how he was going to find good replacements for this. I mean, he has signed Garnacho to replace Morgan Rogers. He has still really not figured out the Yuri Tillemans role. But today we saw a few young players in that position, and I think he has what it takes to compete in all the competitions they are playing in.
But he also signed Manzambi, who is a bit flexible.
Yeah,
right.
That is what I'm saying. The signings he has, even though these are not names
there's a risk associated with them.
Yeah, but I think they still have what it takes. I think the benefits outweigh the risk. Yeah, but let us know what you think in the comment section. If there were any players you thought were standouts that we didn't mention, we didn't cover, and your general thoughts on the game. Like, what you think of the game? Do you think PSG played well? You think they played bad? You think Aston Villa deserve more credit? Whatever it is you think about this game, let us know in the comments below. Leave a comment, or you can just like the video, subscribe as well. It helps the channel a lot. So yeah, see you guys in the next video.